Okay, all you ficus junkies out there, this is your big moment to show off right now. Let's ID this ficus. Check this thing out. Some of you might be saying, oh, that's just a Ficus benjamina. And that might be true to some degree, but not exactly. I think this is something special. I think we should go check it out. Come on, I've been watching this tree for a while. So, what's different about this tree is it has like these sprays of growth. Usually a typical Ficus benjamina is more rounded. Here's a Ficus retusa Indian laurel fig. This is the one you see all the time used in LA for privacy screens. It hedges really well. You can get them really tall. And but that's kind of a big rounded head. That's usually what Ficus benjamina does, except it has a shinier, glossier, sort of more pointed leaf. And so this one, though, is really interesting. See how there's like openness in the canopy? Real openness in the canopy. And there's just tight bunches of foliage, like really tight. And I believe this is some really cool strain of Ficus benjamina, or maybe some other species I don't know about. But you guys that really know your Ficus benjamina will start to probably agree with me that you normally don't see this many sky windows through a typical Ficus benjamina. If I see a typical Ficus benjamina, I'll put one on here. If I find one in reasonable time to post this. Here's your Ficus rubiginosa. This is a fantastic tree. I don't really have a video yet on this. This is like Ficus. It's a lot like Ficus, our favorite of all, Ficus macrophylla. Check out my video. Oh. Yeah. 0 for 1. Oh, can you do it? Yes. So I'll put the link to the Ficus macrophylla video below. I've got a couple of them actually. I love it so much. But check this out. It looks like this used to be a 24-inch box. It filled out the whole box. Even got squared off. See that? There's one side. There's another side. And then here's the other side. Right there. That was in a box. No more. It's in the ground now. Permanent. But this is a real beautiful ficus. You can see the size leaf. It's basically a miniaturized version of Ficus macrophylla. This is a fairly common tree. Really nice tree. Really adaptable tree. But the order of the business right now is to determine what ficus this is. Maybe it's just a regular benjamina that's just looking different. I don't know. Let's get a close-up. I mean, it's absolutely Ficus benjamina leaf structure. See this? But look at these dense clusters. See them? Look at this. Big windows, dense clusters. And so it provides a really sort of cool sculptural look where you can kind of see the interior of the trunk and the structure of the tree, which is really beautiful because it has that whitish shape. And it doesn't provide as, it'll let some shade in, or it'll let some sun in, whereas the regular ficus won't. And these people haven't done this. They haven't trimmed this out. It just seems to be doing it naturally. So I'm going to take some cuttings off this tree and grow this thing. And I don't know, add it to my collection. Add it to my collection of all the other stuff that I can't, I have no time to sell or this happens when you're a plant hoarder. Anyway, there you go. Ficus unknown. Maybe benjamina, maybe not. We don't know. But what kind of Ficus benjamina makes a big sprig coming up like that? None that I know of. Okay. Case in point. Look at this big giant hedge. This is a Ficus benjamina hedge with a regular Ficus benjamina. But what are you noticing here? You're noticing that the ficus is totally thick. There are no windows like that other ficus. And we are getting complete privacy here. And what's interesting is we have one ficus here. This is Ficus bengalis, which is really cool. We're gonna start growing these in the nursery. That's a whole nother story. But look how dense that ficus is compared to the open window ficus, the one that I showed you earlier. So I want you to remember that right there. That's why I think it's a totally different ficus. Am I crazy? Maybe. But I still think it's a different kind of ficus.